Every year, thousands of NRI patients travel across the world for one reason: hair transplant. They fly from countries like the UK, Canada, the US, Australia, and the Middle East to places like India, Turkey, or Thailand, hoping to restore their hair and confidence. But here's something surprising. Most NRI patients do not choose clinics based on price. In fact, cost is rarely their first concern. Their priorities are usually very different. They want a clinic that can manage everything within a short travel window. They want strong post-operative support because they will return abroad within a few days. And most importantly, they want natural results that don't look like a transplant. But in the process of trying to optimize these three things, many patients unknowingly choose the wrong clinic, and the consequences often appear months later. Hairlines that look unnatural, poor density, damaged donor areas, and sometimes the need for repair surgery. Surveys from the International Society of Hair Restoration Surgery, about 10% of hair transplant cases treated by surgeons today are actually repair procedures from previous surgeries performed incorrectly. That means thousands of patients every year are trying to fix a surgery that should have been done right the first time. So in this video, we'll talk about the biggest mistakes NRI patients make when choosing a hair transplant clinic, even when they think they are making the right decision. If you are planning a transplant from abroad, this video could save you from a permanent mistake. Why hair transplant medical tourism is growing. Hair transplantation has become one of the fastest growing cosmetic procedures worldwide. Advances in techniques like have made the procedure minimally invasive with natural-looking outcomes. Because of this, medical tourism for hair restoration has increased significantly over the last decade. Countries like India, Turkey, Thailand, South Korea have become global hubs for hair restoration surgery. Patients travel internationally for several reasons: better access to experienced surgeons, advanced techniques, faster scheduling, and the ability to combine surgery with travel. However, hair transplantation is not just a one-day cosmetic procedure. It is actually a 12-month medical journey. Hair grows slowly. Full results usually appear between 10 to 12 months after surgery. And during this period, planning, communication, and follow-up support become extremely important. When clinics focus only on quick procedures instead of long-term care, problems start appearing later. One of the biggest attractions for NRI patients is convenience. Many clinics advertise packages like fly in, get surgery, fly back within 2 to 3 days. For someone traveling internationally, this sounds perfect. But hair transplantation requires careful medical evaluation. Before surgery, the doctor should evaluate hair loss pattern, donor strength, scalp health, family history of baldness, future hair loss progression. If surgery is planned only around travel schedules rather than proper medical evaluation, results may suffer. The International Society of Hair Restoration Surgery has warned that patients traveling abroad for hair transplants should research the surgeon carefully, because procedures are sometimes performed by technicians rather than licensed physicians. Hair restoration is not just about implanting grafts today. It is about making sure your hair still looks natural 10 or 20 years from now. Mistake 2. Not planning for future hair loss. Many patients focus only on their current hairline, but hair loss is progressive. A responsible surgeon plans hair transplantation with long-term strategy. Hairline design should consider age, hair density, family history, future hair loss patterns. If these factors are ignored, the transplant may initially look good, but years later, the surrounding natural hair may continue to fall. This creates unnatural patterns such as isolated hairlines or patchy density. Correcting these problems later can require additional surgeries, and sometimes the donor area may not have enough hair left. This is why long-term planning is critical in hair transplantation. Mistake 3. Ignoring post-operative support. For local patients, follow-ups are simple. They can visit the clinic whenever necessary. But for NRI patients, the situation is very different. Most international patients return home within a few days of surgery. After that, they rely entirely on remote communication with the clinic. Hair transplant recovery involves several stages: initial healing, temporary shedding, shock loss, gradual regrowth. These phases can last several months. Without proper guidance, patients often panic during the shedding phase. A good clinic should provide scheduled online consultations, recovery monitoring, medication guidance, long-term hair loss management. Because a hair transplant is not a one-day treatment, it is a year-long process. Mistake 4. Communication barriers. Another mistake many international patients overlook is communication. Hair transplantation requires very clear discussion between doctor and patient. You must talk about hairline design, donor limitations, number of grafts, future hair loss strategy. But in some medical tourism destinations, communication can be challenging. For example, countries like Turkey attract thousands of international hair transplant patients every year. However, in many clinics, communication happens through translators or coordinators rather than directly with the surgeon. This can create misunderstandings. A patient may request a conservative, natural hairline, but that message may not be communicated accurately, or post-operative instructions may not be explained clearly. Hair transplant recovery includes very specific instructions: how to wash the scalp, how to sleep, when to exercise, which medications to take. Even small misunderstandings can affect healing and final results. That is why patients should always ensure they can communicate clearly with the surgeon and understand the treatment plan completely. Mistake 5. Trusting marketing more than medical credentials. Most patients begin their research on Instagram, YouTube, Google reviews. These platforms are helpful, but they can also be misleading. Before-after photos can be influenced by lighting, hair styling, hair fibers, camera angles. Some clinics focus heavily on marketing instead of medical transparency. The International Society of Hair Restoration Surgery warns that many so-called clinics operating globally are actually black market clinics where procedures are performed by unlicensed or poorly trained personnel. These clinics may advertise aggressively, but may not follow proper medical protocols. Patients should always verify doctor credentials, experience medical training, and long-term patient results. Mistake 6. High-volume hair mill clinics. In some medical tourism cities, clinics perform multiple surgeries every day. This high-volume model focuses on numbers rather than precision. Hair transplantation is a microsurgical procedure. Each graft must be carefully extracted, properly preserved, implanted at the correct angle and direction. If surgery becomes assembly line based, results can suffer. According to ISHRS surveys, more than 59% of hair restoration surgeons report the presence of black market clinics in their cities, which often operate without proper medical oversight. This increases the risk of unnatural hairlines, poor growth, donor depletion, scarring. That is why surgeon involvement is extremely important. Final message. Hair transplantation can be life-changing when performed correctly. It can restore confidence, improve appearance, and create natural results that last for years. But the most important decision is not the surgery itself. It is choosing the right clinic, especially for NRI patients traveling internationally. Because when it comes to hair transplantation, you only have one donor area and one chance to do it right. If you are an NRI planning a hair transplant and want to understand the process correctly, subscribe to this channel. Here we share real patient journeys, scientific insights, and honest guidance about hair restoration. And if you have questions about hair loss, drop them in the comments below.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, अगर आपने अभी तक हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और ध्यान रहे बेल आइकन दबाना ना भूलें और हमारी हर वीडियो का अपडेट आपको समय समय पर मिलता रहेगा।